Moving to the Emerald Coast is an incredible decision, but there's some things that you must know before you move here, and that's what we're going to explore on today's episode, the 15 things you must know before you move to the Emerald Coast. What's going on, guys? My name is John, aka Mr. Beach. I am a real estate agent here on the Emerald Coast, and I help people move here all the time. One thing that you have to factor in when you're moving to our area is the different costs of living in different places. Now, this channel, we specifically focus on everything from Panama City all the way to Destin, Florida. All right, so let's talk about bang for your buck. Different areas that you live here are going to have different price points. The cheapest places you can go are Crestview, Freeport, Panama City, all the things that are kind of outlying away from the beach. The further away you get from the beach, generally, the cheaper things do get. And that's no exception in Freeport. If you're looking for a nice big home, you can find one there. Probably the cheapest that you can find anywhere. Panama City is right up there with that. The reason why I like Freeport so much is because it's centrally located in between Destin and Panama City, so you get the best of both worlds. You know, if you're like me, if you're in real estate or if you own your own company, you can kind of have the leverage to move from one side to the other and be centrally located. Panama City is also an incredible option. Tell you what, you get a lot of money for your home there, and it's a big city. I mean, you're gonna have all the box stores, you're gonna have all the modern day conveniences. Like we don't have Costco's here, unfortunately, but we do have a Sam's Club that will be located in Panama City. Now, as you get closer to the beach, obviously things are going to get more expensive, and if you want me to rate things on an expense level, I'll go ahead and break it down for you real quick. So we have the east side of Panama City Beach, middle side of Panama City Beach, and the west side of Panama City Beach. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in 3 different categories there, okay? The east side is where all the party used to happen. Now, we don't have parties anymore. This is no longer the MTV spring break, but this is where a lot of that activity happened back in the day. Kid Rock is opened up a new bar called Tootsie's over there, but it's not gonna be like it was when Club La Vida was hanging out. You can get a lot of bang for your buck in that area, especially if you're looking for single family home units. We've seen some stuff come on the market, 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool for $700,000. Guys, if you're an investment property person and you're looking for, you know, a piece of property very close to the beach, it will do very well on Airbnb. The east side of Panama City Beach is a great place to look into. Middle Panama City Beach, you have Pier Park, you have that area, the Majestic, and all the big hotels over there. That's where a lot of the tourism is at these days. Now, you're not gonna find a low price of entry, but if you're looking for a condo, that's a great place to look, as that area is very well traveled. It is a tourist destination, so if you're investing in condos, you might want to check it out here. And then we have the west side of Panama City Beach. This is where I'm at today. We call this the quiet side, and you know, this is the closest to 30A. So over here on the west side of Panama City Beach, we still do have things that are somewhat not expensive. I mean, I don't know if you really consider anything over $1 million expensive, but you can find things in the $1 million range over here on the west side of Panama City Beach, going all the way up to probably around 8 million is the top of the line. Over here, Gulf Front, and if we cross the street over here, of course, those units do very well as well. Not nearly as much as the ones that are Gulf Front, but this is another barrier of entry here. Now, you cross the bridge, you go over to Lake Powell, you have Rosemary Beach, you have Inlet Beach. Now, we're talking some very high price per square foot. The highest in the southeast, actually. Seacrest Beach is the next town over, and then we have Alice Beach, which Alice Beach is by far the most expensive price per square foot if you're looking to invest here in the Emerald Coast. As you keep on going further down, there's beach towns all the way, Grayton Beach, Blue Mountain Beach, lots of really fun places into Miramar, but these places are going to cost some money. If you want anything on the Gulf, don't forget these are public and private beaches too. So the private beaches over there, if you're looking at private beach, it has its own deeded beach. Gulf Front, you're looking at about $16 million. Yes, I said 16 million. You could probably get something in the 9 to 10 range, but it is a little bit more expensive. But keep in mind, it is a private beach over there, so you are actually buying the beach. Destin's gonna be higher priced than anything in Panama City Beach. Panama City Beach is gonna be much more affordable than anything you're gonna find in Destin. Anything that you would find in Panama City Beach, you basically add a couple $100,000, and that's what you'll get in Destin. Same beach, same strip of land. They have their pluses and minuses, you know, and you know, if you're into the single scene, if you're into the tourist stuff, you're really gonna like Destin a lot. They have Crab Island over there. If you're into more of the family stuff, Panama City Beach would be the beach that you might be looking to invest in. But you know, guys, it changes everywhere you go. And that's the number one thing you got to realize when you move here. It's going to change drastically depending on what you want out of where you live. All right, the number 2 thing you have to realize when you move here is tourism affects absolutely everything. Right now, we're in the calm before the storm. It's February, and just a couple weeks, it will be March and the official start of spring break. Right now, we're at Pier Park in downtown Panama City Beach, and this place is going to be packed with action. So will your wait times at local area restaurants. So just keep it in mind, you know, there are certain times out of the year. We have one bad week in March. It's called Hell Week here, when Atlanta comes down for spring break and this place goes nuts. You don't want to be here. We usually, as locals, kind of lock ourselves in our doors and pray for it to be over quickly. The month of March, other than that, though, not too bad. And of course, then you have the summer months, which is going to be heavy congestion down here. We're talking Memorial Day weekend all the way till the second week of August. And at that point, it's all over with. So you got 10 weeks during the summer. You got 1 week during March where the tourism is going to be extremely high here and your wait times will vary. Just going out to eat at restaurants, you're looking at a 45-minute to an hour and a half wait. My family and I, we really like to go to Shades, an area over in Inlet Beach, and it's always a bummer because you know when it's tourist season, all of a sudden there's a wait and you have to wait an hour and 15 minutes to get a bite to eat. But hey, that's just part of living here. You have to kind of accommodate the tourists. It is the lifeblood of what happens here, and without the tourists, there probably would be no Panama City Beach or surrounding areas. Hey, it's just one of the cons of living here. You know, you kind of take the good with the bad, and you know, for me, 11 weeks out of the year that we have to deal with heavy tourism, and you know, you might have to wait for a spot to eat. Yeah, it does suck, but hey, I can get over it because the rest of the time I'm living here in paradise and I have it all to myself, so I'll deal with it. Okay, another drawback about living here is definitely something you need to look into is hurricane insurance and the cost of property insurance down here. Hey, listen guys, we get hurricanes. It sucks. Yes, it does. Good thing about living this far north and in the Panhandle, we can escape not only north or south, but we can also escape east and west. So we do have options, and they've gotten really good about forecasting these hurricanes. About a 13-day leeway, and the projections that they have on the models are usually pretty accurate. And what you don't realize either when you see a lot of this stuff on the news is how narrow the path of destruction is on these hurricanes. Geez, we had two that came by when they came through. You know, here we barely even got wind, and if you go down the street, you know, just about 2 hours, they experienced a full-fledged hurricane. So you can't get out of the way of it. That's a good thing about hurricanes. The bad news is insurance does cost more with the threat of hurricanes looming. Now, one thing that will save you a ton of money is if you get hurricane clips on your roof. Anything that's been built after the year 2021 or has had a new roof since the year 2021 will have hurricane clips inside the roof. And basically that just makes it to where it's harder for the hurricane to blow the roof off. The way the hurricane wants to get in is it wants to blow down your screen door or a window, and what it does is it pops the air pressure up from top, and that takes the roof off. What these hurricane clips do is kind of clips that in. New technology that's actually saving a ton of money on homeowners insurance. And if you are a homeowner here, the difference that it makes is absolutely insane. We're just a half mile away from the beach, and we do have a brand new roof with hurricane clips. Our insurance for the year is about $2,500 a year, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's not great, but you know, if we didn't have the hurricane clips, we'd be looking at about $6,000 insurance, and even more if you go inside closer. And we're in flood zone X. Flood zone X does not require that you have wind or flood insurance if you have flood zone X. But you know, if you get closer to the beach over here, if you have something actually on the Gulf, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money with insurance. I got about 3 guys on my phone right now that I'd love to get you in touch with and help you on your insurance journey. You know, depending on where you're going to live, though, is going to be dependent on the price, and that's something we start looking at once you start actually in earnest start looking at property here. We start factoring in those insurance costs as well. Hey, if you're looking to make a move to the Emerald Coast, I'd love to talk to you. My name is John, aka Mr. Beach. My number is 850-943-7777, or you can reach me anytime at john@mrbeachteam.com. I'll talk to you about insurance or whatever else you want to talk. I like talking. Call me. We'll talk. All right, enough about hurricanes. We hear about hurricanes all the time. It's no fun talking about hurricanes. You know what it is fun to talk about? The fact that we have no state income tax in Florida. Hey, ho, hey, ho. And if you're living in a state that currently requires income tax, which I do have a couple people that are moving here right now from the state of California, they are very excited about the fact that they don't have to pay state income tax here. It can be quite burdensome in other markets. Here in the free state of Florida, you do not have to worry about state income taxes, and as far as I'm concerned, that's just one more off the list. Thank goodness I don't have to worry about something. And taxes are no fun. And you might be thinking to yourself, how the heck does Florida get all of this tax revenue? The simple fact of the matter is they do have a sales tax here. We are in 30A right now. I'm currently in 30 Avenue, my friends. This right here is very classy. But everything here is a sales tax on it. So, you know, you go into one of the stores here, into the interior store over here, or Cuvée 30, you're going to be paying 7.5 to 8.5% tax. in most places around here now. It will change from county to county. I have noticed the taxes over here in South Walton are a little bit higher than in Bay County. We moved here from Memphis, Tennessee, and in Memphis, you know, they get you on the sales tax. It's where they really hammer you down. You know, you go to buy a car there for $39,000. All of a sudden, at the end of it, you see a little sales tax at the end of that, and whoa, hey, that $39,000 car is now close to $45,000 because there's a $3,900 state income tax on it. So yeah, they can vary from city to city. Here, I've noticed that the sales tax is much less than what we had to deal with in Tennessee. Hey, you like what we're doing on this channel? Please give us a like and subscribe. And also, if you're looking to buy in this area, it would really mean a lot to me if you reached out to me. My name is John, aka Mr. Beach. You can reach me anytime at 850-943-7777 or email me, john@mrbeachteam.com. All right, the number 5 thing you have to realize before you move here is that the beach lifestyle is real, my friends. Look at it. Hey, it's February. Boom! Got some flip-flops going on. Never mind the nail polish that came from my daughter. It's fine. They like to paint my nails. Yeah, flip-flops 24/7. And you know what? In January, we did have a huge snowstorm. I'm not going to lie. Kind of weird. Had to diss the flip-flops for a little bit, but we're back at them in the middle of February. It's good. All the grass is now turning green over here. So if you look out over here, this is artificial turf we're on right now in 30th Avenue, but all the grass is starting to turn green. This is the time of year it starts to turn green, so you do have to wear closed-toe shoes for the month of December and January, but once you get the second week of February, we're back in flip-flops, baby. One thing to realize about this, though, when you do live here, the salt in the air is much tougher on your cars, on your HVAC units. The average lifespan of an HVAC unit here is only 10 years old, so when you're shopping for home, keep in mind if it's a 10-year-old home, we're getting close to the end of the lifespan of that HVAC unit. Good to have them inspected before you buy to make sure they are in good shape, as the salt in the air can be extremely harsh in not only HVAC units and cars, but also your grills. Dude, I bought a grill here and I love my grill. I had it for 6 years, starting in Fort Wayne, Indiana, moved with us to Memphis and got down here. That sucker fell apart in 5 seconds. This salt air is no joke, my friends. So much so that my wife made me go and buy a Traeger. I say she made me. Maybe I made myself. I don't know, but I have a Traeger now. I keep it covered up. I'm hoping the salt air doesn't kill it. You know, when you spend $700 on a grill, you definitely want it to last a little bit. We'll see how long it lasts. I have it all covered up. Traeger, please don't become a victim of the salt air. The beach life is real here, but keep in mind that salt air is no joke on your toys. So we're talking about the grass. This is not artificial turf. Look at this. Oh yeah, it's as you can see, green on this side. However, if you go to that side, it's still brown. So, like I said, we're getting close, guys. We're getting close to full green. Hopefully there's no more snowstorms. God bless it, please don't let there be any more snowstorms. All right, if you look back behind me here, you'll see one of our iconic intersections here. This is where 30A meets Highway 98, or Back Beach Road and Inlet Beach. This is the start of 30A. If you go right down this road right here, you'll be in Rosemary Beach before you know it. But what you have to realize is that traffic sometimes can be a nightmare here. That is the number 6 thing you need to know before you move here, and that is that traffic can be unpredictable at times, and during the peak times of the year, we get quite backed up here. This intersection right here going into Rosemary Beach, sometimes we'll get backed up to where you're sitting in line over there 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes sometimes, just try to get off of 98 onto Rosemary Beach. A good work around that is to cut around into 30th Avenue and spit out right over here. You didn't hear that from me. That's a local secret. We don't like to tell tourists our local secrets, but there are ways around some of these traffic congestion issues, this being one of them right here. Of course, once you get onto 30A and you're driving down 30A, it can be absolutely packed with bicyclists. As you get a little bit further past Rosemary Beach, you got golf carts you got to contend with, and just a lot of traffic because there's a lot of people down here. Right now it's February, not a lot going on. You see the traffic behind me running pretty freely here on 98. The only time we get some traffic congestion on 98 is when there is a lot of road construction, which right now we do have a lot of road construction happening at Pier Park in Panama City Beach. And when you get into Destin, as you're going into Destin, right there at the outlet malls, at Silver Sand Outlet, boy, it starts to get congested. During the summertime, I do my best to just stay away from the Destin area because it can be an absolute traffic nightmare. Same thing with Pier Park over here. Being a local, once you get here for a while, you start learning the workarounds to get around some of that traffic. So far, I haven't found one in Destin. There's a great one over here in Panama City Beach towards Pier Park. You can actually go around all that stuff and it'll spit you out where the busy bee is. I mean, there's a lot of people here. Our economy is dependent on a lot of tourism. So when it's tourist time here, which we're just weeks away now, this is the calm before the storm. You know, this place is gonna get a little more congested. You're gonna have to deal with travel times, but it's not that bad. If you stay on 98, you stay out of the highly traffic areas. Just keep in mind, traffic can get testy here on the Emerald Coast. All right, so the number 7 thing you need to realize about moving here is that most of the jobs here are either military or tourism related. So if you're not in the military or you're not in the tourism field, getting a very high paying job at a tourist attraction or making money off of tourists, it might be very hard to make a living here. In fact, I'd say probably about 85% of the people that use me as a realtor here are relocating here because they have a remote job. They're able to work from home. So having that flexibility of being able to work from home, make some good money, is definitely a bonus here. Your other opportunity is to possibly travel, and I do have folks that do that will travel up and down from Tallahassee over to New Orleans. So, you know, if you have a travel job that's not too far, maybe you only have to show up a couple days a week, it could definitely work in living here. But keep in mind, the jobs here, if they're not military or if it's not tourism related, if you're not figuring out a way to make money off the tours here, it's going to be very hard to make a living here because the industry's just not here. Now, a side note to that, there is a ton of jobs coming to Bay County. So just in Bay County in the next 5 years, they're expecting 35,000 new people to move here. A lot of that's coming from the industry that is happening around the new airport. So ECP, Panama City Beaches Airport, is experiencing some tremendous growth right now with lots of new companies moving in. They haven't named all the companies that are moving in, but over the next 5 years, they're expecting a ton of growth out there and a lot of new job opportunities. So if you're lucky enough to get in on one of those jobs, be one of those 35,000 people, that helps. It's definitely a growing place. It's not to the point right now to where there's a ton of industry. So, you know, military, tourism, your best bet, or finding remote work and being able to work from home is a huge bonus if you want to live here in one of the most beautiful places in America. All right, guys, we're almost halfway through this list, and if you like what you're seeing, please hit that like and subscribe button. It would help out this channel tremendously. And if you're looking to move to the area, call me 850-943-7777. My name's John. Everybody calls me Mr. Beach. I'd love to help you move here. Hey, a lot of questions that get asked about moving here regard the schools. It's the number 8 thing you need to know before moving here, and that is the schools are absolutely wonderful here. Yes, the public schools are awesome. The private schools are even better. And here at the Ohana Institute behind me, they live by a simple mission. That mission is to respect the individual needs of all the students, fostering a caring and creative environment to use innovative technology to develop experimental, student-centered, blended education model. Ohana recognizes the individuality of each child and that all children are creative and need to succeed. Ohana believes that the paths of learning include social, emotional, physical, and intellectual development, which invites the passionate pursuits of each individual student's interest. Very cool. And they really do, man. They basically model the curriculum around the child and whatever their creative needs are. Lots of times you'll see these guys when they do the turtle release out here at Inlet Beach, they'll have the whole school out there watching the turtles, helping out with the turtles as they go out. A really cool school. If you're looking for a private elevated school, this is definitely it for you. The tuition can be quite pricey. I invite you to go to their website at ohanainstitute.org to check that out for yourself. One of the bonuses for us moving here when we did move here is we moved here from Memphis, and we were going to have to put our kids in Briarcrest, which I believe the tuition was going to be about $6,000 every semester for those 2 kids to be there. That's kind of the reason why we moved here, because the public schools are so good here. We were like, you know what? We can just forego the private school and take them to public school at these wonderful school districts in Florida, and it will be pretty much the same. And I tell you what, the school that my girls go to is absolutely phenomenal. Dune Lakes Elementary, South Walton, is one of the top school districts in the state of Florida. I believe it's number 3 right now. They go to Dune Lakes Elementary. It was just built. They have wonderful after school programs, a program called Spice, where they'll actually keep your kids. I believe it's only like $5 a day after school. They'll watch them up until 6 o'clock at night. So that is something you need to know too with the schools here. It's an early in, early out thing. 7:20 is what time they have to be at school in the morning, and they're out generally at about 2:30. Speaking about other school districts, Okaloosa has a great, very highly rated school district, and as does Bay County. So all the schools down here are top notch. We do have a website that you can check out. It's called niche.com. I'm not supposed to talk about schools being a real estate agent, but you can go to that website. That's where I get all my rankings for the schools, and check out more about the public schools and private schools here. I will tell you, as a very concerned parent, education being very high priority. We did our research on this place, and if you have kids, this is a great place to bring them. As the school district here, the teachers, everybody that's involved with anything in the school districts here are top notch. They're here because they want to be here, and I cannot recommend the schools here any more than I am today. You know, talking about after school and what to to do with the kids. What do you do with your kids? I'd love to hear how you handle your after school situation. Please comment in the comments below. And if you have any questions on the after school programs here, they also do have wonderful things like the Boys and Girls Club that will actually pick up the kids from school. Those run about $200 a month for after school programs. And if you have any questions in general on these videos, please feel free to comment below. I love to answer questions. All right, now for the number 9 thing you're going to realize when you move here, and that is that short-term rentals are everywhere. That is a big part of our livelihood, our short-term rentals. As you'll see behind me, we have several of these big structures up right across the street from the beach. These places are going to be packed throughout the summer, and if you look back behind me, the Gulf side, you'll see even more houses. So that's just kind of the way it is here, guys. I mean, everything is short-term neighborhoods, and you'll see the reflection in the price of that when you're buying, because if you can make money off a house, they're basically going to make it more expensive. So I have had folks ask me, hey, Mr. Beach, is there any place to invest here that isn't short-term? And the fact of the matter is, yes, there are several different neighborhoods that you can go to that are not short-term rental. Bidawee Beach in Panama City Beach is only short-term rentable for the first 2 blocks or the first 2 rows of houses, which everything behind it, that's long-term. You're not going to have a bunch of neighbors. There's a lot of little neighborhoods like that as you go up and down this stretch of coast that is not short-term rentable. You just have to really kind of know those areas. Whisper Dunes is another really cool area. That is the area where we actually live at right now. It's almost kind of like a retirement community, but they don't allow any short-term rentals there. So it's very important when you're looking to invest here, especially if you're investing, that you're in a neighborhood that allows short-term rentals. Guys, I have somebody I'm working with currently that bought here, and the realtor didn't do a very good job of disclosing the fact that the house that she was looking at wasn't able to be short-term rented. So unfortunately, she bought the home thinking the fact that she would be able to get into it and, you know, make some money off of it. And then she realizes, oh my goodness, you have to have at least a 7-month lease here. So no short-term rental, that's going to make a huge impact on the, you know, the way that home functions. I mean, if you're only having long-term rentals at 7 months, it's going to be really hard to fill that up. And, you know, that's another problem with the HOAs too, is the HOAs have complete control over what's happening with your property. So if an HOA decides all of a sudden, you know what, we're not going to be a short-term community, we're going completely long-term, that can really affect the value of your house. So find yourself a good agent that knows exactly what's going on in the different neighborhoods you're looking in and what is going to fit your goals financially and into the future. All right, guys, we're all the way up to number 10, and number 10 is the water is beautiful here, but the weather has control of it, okay? Look, hey, we all want picture perfect days every day, but sometimes you get faced with a dreaded red and purple flag. What does a red flag mean? Red flag means high surf warning. So as you can see out here right now today, there is some high surf. We do have a riptide current in effect right now. There's a warning, so nobody's allowed in the water. If you jump in the water, they will give you a $500 ticket. And not only that, there's a purple flag on there. You know what the purple flag means? Purple flag is no bueno. Purple flag means man of war. Oh, man of war. Portuguese man of war. Just sounds ugly, doesn't it? Actually, it's very beautiful. Beautiful looking jellyfish. Unfortunately, if it stings you, it's gonna hurt really, really bad. And some people have an allergic reaction that could even result into death with that. So if you see the purple flags flying, just be aware there is some dangerous marine life present. Usually that means jellyfish are out there. Every now and then it's because of sharks. Even when we had the shark attacks out here last year, I don't believe they even flew the purple flags on those days. So even with deadly shark attacks, you're not gonna see purple flag. So most of the time, we're talking Portuguese man of war out there, and the red flag is because the surf's up. And you know, we've been filming all day today. It's been beautiful everywhere we've gone, but there is a little bit of wind kicking up, and you know, with different atmospheric conditions, man, it could just kick up the water to where it could really ruin your day at the beach. But I mean, truthfully, kind of sitting back here and just listening to the waves is pretty cool too. You just can't get in the water, which the water right now in February is 62 degrees, so a little bit cold out there right now, and the water conditions aren't so great. Part of living here, something you have to realize, not every day is going to be picture perfect, and it always seems to be during those days in the spring when the water starts getting warm and everybody's fired up to go to the beach that we get a red flag day. And it's, dude, you think you're living here is bad? The people that come here on vacation, you'll see them come out there and run directly out to the surface. Like, bro, don't do that, please, you could die. Like, this is the red flag is a warning. It's there for a reason. I mean, people die here unnecessarily so many times. Dude, respect the Gulf, okay? I mean, it's the red flag's there to keep you safe. I know it sucks, but it's part of life. Not every day is going to be an ideal beach day. All right, that brings us to number 11. And the 11th thing you should be aware of when you move here is, hey, there's more things to do than just the beach. If I take just a quick walk on the inside over here and cross the street, I'm into National Park. There's all kinds of hiking trails, all sorts of fun stuff to do. We are right here at Inlet Beach today. Right over here we have Lake Powell. We are surrounded by these dune lakes, which the dune lakes are absolutely beautiful here. And it gives you a chance to get out on kayaks, even do a lot of windsurfing. A lot of people do windsurfing out here as we normally have very, very small waves. And we have these great inlet lakes that you can go in there and get a good full day of windsurfing in. Also lots of kayakers out here. And you know, if that's not your boat, if you don't like doing the extreme stuff, you can always do some mini golf over in Panama City Beach. Tons of mini golf courses. And of course, lots of really big golf courses here. If you're a golfer, you're gonna love it. Some super exclusive places like Shark Tooth and Water Sound is a private country club here. $75,000 by the way to be a member there, but their courses are absolutely insane. If that's a little too rich for your blood, don't worry. There's something for everybody here. There's Legacy Golf. You can get on there for about $100 a day, and you can also do Signal Hill for only $51 a day. It's one of the oldest golf courses in the area, and it's fun to play for $51 on the beach, right by the beach. You can't beat it. So lots of outdoor activities that don't include the beach. All right, we are standing by the world famous Rosemary Beach sign in beautiful Rosemary Beach, one of my favorite places to just walk around here as you really feel like you're in Europe. Now that goes to the next important factor to consider when moving here, and that is the nightlife vary from town to town. So right now we're in Rosemary Beach. This restaurant right here is one of my favorite in all of the land. It's called The best, by the way. If you like scallops, they have the best scallop dish I've ever had in my life. You have to come by here and at least check out the bar area. Reservations are always recommended at Parody, but very, very cool place. And there's all sorts, I mean, if you could smell what it smells like here right now, there's just so many yummy little restaurants here in the Rosemary Beach area. If we're to go down just a little ways here, we'll be in Seacrest Beach, and you can find Starbucks and stuff like that, Subways. And a little bit further, you go on to Alice Beach and you'll find George's and some other high-end restaurants. And that's the thing here. There's so many restaurant opportunities, the different places to eat throughout the year, because it is such a tourist-related industry, such a tourist-related area of the world. You know, if you go into Bay County, I've always found is a little bit cheaper to eat than out in this area. If you're in the 30A area, you're going to spend a little bit more money because, I mean, well, the prices to play out here just cost a bit more. So if you're going to Panama City Beach and Destin has a lot of the touristy type restaurants like Joe's Crab Shack, you know, those kinds of places. I try and stay away from those kinds of places, but those places exist over there. You get in Panama City Beach, you see a lot of your Longhorn Steakhouses, your Olive Garden. So you get all the regular food that you would anywhere else, but it does vary from town to town. Like, you're not gonna find an Olive Garden anywhere here in Rosemary Beach. That ain't gonna happen. You gotta hit the road and either go to Destin or Panama City Beach to find those big chain restaurants. But that's the great part about living here, man. I mean, you can find all sorts of hidden gems. If you're a big foodie, you're gonna love living here because the options are absolutely endless and they vary from town to town, which is so cool in my opinion. All right, guys, we're in Seacrest Beach for number 13, and you got to be aware of this when you move here, and that is the fact that, well, your utility bills can be quite high compared to probably where you're from. This is Florida after all. It does get very warm here during the summer. Increased AC usage will crank your bills up quite a bit, and also the water is not cheap here, okay? So we live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and right now our water bill per month is about $150, which is a little bit high compared to where we were in Memphis. It was about $80 a month there. The electricity for us usually stays about $250 throughout the year, which isn't too bad. I'm not sure why we don't see a huge spike during the summertime, but I'm going to tell you too, a lot of people say Florida gets hot. I think the beach breeze actually keeps it cooled off quite a bit. I mean, we see highs in the upper 80s here. I came from Memphis where it'd be 100 with the 100% humidity. You know, that's hot. And that's when your AC's running 24/7. Here, I mean, even today, we have a beautiful, wonderful, nice sea breeze coming off the ocean, and it keeps everything cool. A lot of folks complain about the heat here. I'm never gonna complain about the heat. The electric bills, on the other hand, yes, they can get quite expensive. Expect $250 per month at minimum for your electricity. Expect about $100 to $150 for your water. You're looking about $35 to $50 for your trash per month. About $100 for high-speed internet. I use Comcast, which I produce a lot of these videos, so I have to have kind of high-speed internet. The bills can be a bit more expensive than what you're used to. Just keep that in mind when moving to the Emerald Coast. All right, another thing you gotta realize when you move believe here is there's different vibes for different towns. I mean, that's just the whole point of living here. Your vibe kind of attracts your tribe, or you attract your vibe. And no other place better to do that than right here in Alice Beach, where I'm hanging out today. We're at the amphitheater, and if you look around here, they have a nice little stage here, a great place for the kids to run around. And of course, the world famous coffee shop right behind me, that is the Fonville Press. There is something for everyone here. If your vibe is hanging out at Fonville Press, drinking coffee, watching the cars go by, watch everybody on their electric bikes and their bikes pass through, this is a great place to do that. Alice Beach, probably the highest price per square foot anywhere here on the Emerald Coast. A good place to people watch. You go down the beach a little bit to Grayton Beach, man, you got hippie city. Everybody there is just chilled back and relaxed. It feels a lot like Austin, Texas. You go down to Destin, you go hang out and party on Crab Island, enjoy the harbor there and all the craziness during the summertime. If you're a single person, that's a great place to be. A lot of people having a good time. If you're a family person, Panama City Beach is a great opportunity for you to get in someplace here. Shell Island is great for the kids. They absolutely love it. You go out on a boat, you hang out all day. The kids snorkel and have a great time. There's not a lot of craziness or partying. It's very chill, very relaxed. There's something for everyone in all of these towns, and I can't impress on you enough how absolutely cool that is, because you really can find so many things to do here. That's what we love so much about living here. You literally have a different attraction every different week. You can go to a different town and have a whole different vibe. Really, there's something for everyone here, and that's what makes this place so uniquely special, is there's a different vibe for every single tribe. All right, lots of factors to consider when moving to the Emerald Coast. We're already here. We're at the very last one, and that is, once you move here, it's hard to move away. Man, this place is addictive. Most people who move to the Emerald Coast never want to leave. The mix of beautiful beaches, outdoor activities, and the relaxed lifestyle makes it one of the best places to live in Florida. We moved here 2 years ago, and when we first moved here, we were a little ignorant about what it took to live here, okay? This is not an easy place to live. You better have some money behind you and, you know, some resilience when it comes to living here, because you kind of have to pivot and find your own spot here. And I want that to be abundantly clear to anybody watching, because it's easy to see the beauty and go, all right, I can make it there. Dude, it takes a lot of work. If it wasn't for this YouTube channel and the good people like you watching this, people deciding to use me as a real estate agent, we probably wouldn't have made it, man. Well, I had a video production company, and the video production company did great in Memphis. When I moved here, a lot of people were doing video production, so I had to pivot, and my pivot was doing this YouTube channel. And through the grace of God, I've been blessed by so many people that have entered my life because of this YouTube channel, and it's been a blessing to me. But realize that that is part of it. I mean, you've got to be able to pivot. You've got to be able to balance on your feet. If you have a great job, that's great for you. I'm so happy. Come here, you will not regret it. But if you're an entrepreneur like me, you might want to be a little bit careful, and at least know that you have a nest egg when you move here, as you know, it's hard to live here, especially the first couple of years that you get going. But once you get going, start meeting people, man, everything changes for you. This has been an absolute blessing for me, this YouTube channel, meeting the folks that I've gotten to meet, helping people move here. It's just been an adventure like none other, and I can't think about anything else I'd rather be doing. And that is a trap about moving here. When you're here, baby. Even if everything was to dry up today, I don't know, I'd start selling some pineapples on the street. I'd figure some way to keep my family here, because there's no way in heck we're moving back to Fort Wayne, Indiana after enjoying this piece of paradise. If you yourself would like to enjoy this piece of paradise and you're on the fence about moving, I would love to be an asset in helping you move here. My name is John Arroyo. People call me Mr. Beach. You can reach me anytime at 850-943-7777, or you can email me at john@mrbeachteam.com. Guys, this video right here, this video is popping off. It's all about 30A, this area that I'm in today, and people are watching it for 30 minutes at a time now. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for all your support and everything you've done for me and my family. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.